Hey, gang. Monday. Definitely sounding like it. No, I mean, eh. Been up since 6:30 this morning. Had about a 20-minute nap not too long ago with the pups. We laid down for a little bit. After that, time to get up and do this. Got a big package arriving sometime in the next couple of hours. A microphone just like this one I found for a steal and from a reliable reseller from I'm brain farting from Sweetwater, known for selling good stuff there. So, so it's used, which is why it's heavily discounted. But we'll see what it sounds like later this afternoon. Got some big calls. We're trying to do some expansion to um, Mastiff Media. Like I need to have more work, but a vendor of ours is selling his phone company, and we're trying to help him find buyers. And we're realizing that possibly we could be one of them. And just see how it goes. So I've got a call with two calls today, one with a competing company of his, one that he is not a vendor for, and then one with a consultant after that who calls you and says, "How's your phone company doing?" And as calls you as a business and says, "How's your phone company doing?" And they give you whatever consultation from there. And I guess they're paid by the phone companies or some other whatever. So, my call today with that one, I mean, they're both free for me. So, it's good news for me. Let's move that out of the way. I'm rearranging some things on the desktop here. Now available. Speaking of desktops, now available on WhatsApp. I didn't want to do it, but I wound up figuring it out. In addition to our toll free numbers, 1 88 Yergz and 844 gay LGBT, you can call and talk about all the different things we're going to be talking about today. Like, got a long, pretty sweet list, actually. You can also get us through WhatsApp. I'll give that number out in a second. Superfan Ken says, "Good morning, Yergz. Would you say a humongous package?" Oh, new mic. Well, yeah, I mean, you see, for those of you with video, you see the mic that I've got. It is this same mic. So, yeah, I mean, if this is what you're sporting, that's yeah. Anyway, Ken's getting dirty already. I haven't even finished a cup of coffee yet. So yeah. Let's go through all it. Just go through the headlines. So I'm a little disoriented today. I think I'm still waking up from the nap. Dean Cain. Do you even remember him? Used to be Superman on, I guess it was The Adventures of Lois and Clark, the TV show. He now wants to be an ICE agent. And when I show you pictures of what he looks like now, you would probably say you need to melt some of that ice because you look more like Frosty the Snowman. Australia, in addition to Canada and Great Britain, have announced that within the next couple of weeks, they will formally recognize Palestine as a state. as an independent nation. Pissing off, of course, Bibi, Benjamin Netanyahu, and the other Yahoo, Donald Trump. Speaking of T-Rump, more mass protests over the weekend. The No Kings group is at it again and has had yet another huge turnout. I didn't get to cover these. I was home. We had some thunderstorms here in the Tampa area, and I know that they do not sit well with either of my dogs. And so I got a lot of work done here. Now, the editing and other radio-oriented things that needed to get done, but also, staying home, keeping them company and content with a lot of booms going off. And not to mention the fact that I think it was Saturday night, whatever night I made a post on Facebook on my personal account, bitching about the stupid shit that people do. My neighbors, without giving me some sort of heads up, because they know both the dogs hate fireworks, shot off fireworks right outside my dining room window, where Matrix happened to be laying at the time. So that scared the shit out of him. Superfan Ken says, yeah, the rainy season is here for Tampa St. Pete. Yep, definitely. I think we've been kind of quiet for the tropical stuff, which I'm fine with. But definitely been raining. Definitely a good number of thunderstorms. Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott doing their usual lying for the Trump administration. I just don't get it. I've said this before. It went viral the first time I said it, so it's probably going to bore you now. But you can be a Republican. You can be a conservative and not be an asshole. I mean, this isn't that hard. Why do you think sticking with Donald Trump is a good idea on any level and at any point? He's a proven felon. He's a poor business person. He's a poor person. He's not a leader. He can't even be a dictator right without screwing that up. It's no longer an issue of asking what the appeal is. The question now is, why are you so goddamn stupid and so much of a pussy? It's easy. Step up, say you were wrong, realize that you were lied to. I think that's the other thing, that if we get that message out strong enough so that people realize they were lied to and not have to admit that they were wrong, but just that they were lied to. Looking at a bunch of things that cleared on my phone before I mute it. Yeah, I think it'll be a lot easier for people to accept, because everybody loves to play the victim. And I think if we allow them that opportunity to play the victim, we'll get through a lot more quickly. As in, I'm brain farting now, sorry. More coffee. And Ken says more water. Yeah, I know. And I'll be burping up the coffee soon. Yeah. Water, my friend. You will be burping the coffee back up soon. Yeah, I know. But don't forget, download the Tone Tip app. We had a meeting this past weekend. Those of us from the radio side, not the Tone Tip people. Well, I mean, he joins every week too, and that's actually going to change. But we had a meeting, and we're wanting to wrap up the amount of tests that we're doing with Tone Tip, and we're going to make a decision on it because we also want to try push notifications. When I send you guys a Tone Tip, it annoys me. And Dan Dan C. Miller from Tone Tip says we can bring down the volume of the Tone Tip so that it's less annoying and possibly even non-detectable by the human ear. Well, that's great. And what happens when it's also non-detectable by the microphone? Because that's kind of the important part, right? He's like, well, we're working on the microphone not having to be on. Apple doesn't allow them to do that. They can't automatically connect the internal part of the microphone. The microphone actually has to hear audio, where with the other platforms, Google and Windows operating systems, it can be internal, and that eliminates, it actually allows the user to be wearing headphones or earbuds, and the device still gets the Tone Tip. Apple doesn't let us do that. Our tech guy, Nathan Fleetwood from Dare Media, says there's a workaround for that. Dan's pushing back with, let's just let Apple do it. I know where he's coming from with that. Apple's bitchy when you start messing with stuff. But Nathan's presenting something that, one, solves a problem. Because most of us listening right now, the whole reason why we're even remotely interested in Tone Tips is that I'm brand for QR codes. I'm going to put one on right now. It's for, oddly enough, it's for Tone Tip. There you go. Download the Tone Tip. I'll put another one up in the corner. Same QR code, even though one looks upside down from the other. That the Tone Tip allows us to get you information when you're watching us or listening to us on a device that you would normally use to scan the screen to download the QR code. If you're watching from your phone, you can't easily scan the screen on your phone with your phone. You're going to need some other device. Well, the Tone Tip solves that problem for you. We send you that same message, just like we put up on the QR code. And with that, you get the information that we send, whether it's, the Tone Tips you're going to get today have more than one website attached to them. Because I'm going to be sending you information on the news stories we cover. I took the time to do that last night, and I'm actually put that into my schedule every night before bed. I'm going to do the next day's Tone Tips for as many as I can. Some of the stuff I don't decide until the next morning, but anything that I've got that night, I'm going to create the Tone Tips, and you're going to get them. But if you're watching from your phone, you can't do that with a QR code. Now the problem is solved. The next problem, there's two frequencies that we use to send a Tone Tip. 14 and 19 kilohertz, I think, 14 is incredibly high, and it's loud enough. You're going to hear it. And you're probably going to bitch to me about it. Even if you haven't downloaded the Tone Tip app, which I would love for you to do, and take part in our study. Remember, this is technology that's not really available to the public yet. So to be contributing, this is pretty intense and cool shit. So download the Tone Tip app. I'm going to get rid of the one that's covering my chin. And then let's get into it. Kind of saying you didn't bitch about it, just hear it. Remember when you guys comment, be a little bit more specific, because I might not get to it in the moment that you comment. And when I do get to it, then I'm not going to have any idea what you're talking about. He has downloaded. All right, good, because here comes today's first Tone Tip. I got to open a folder for that. Hey, first day doing this on a more regular. We're going to have some bumps to work out. Desktop Tone Tips. I actually put it in a folder for today, so it would be a hell of a lot easier. Which one? We can't do Dean Cain. I don't have anything that I pulled up. So here comes Australia recognizing. Let's see if you guys hear this. That was not too bad. Let's see at this one. I just hear a little click at the end. That's it. So hopefully it's not as annoying as what some of the first ones were. Let me know if you got the links for Australia to recognize Palestine as a state. And in that will actually be, I think on that one, I might have put one or two. Why do you send me stuff when I'm already on the air? Let's see what Glenn's sending to. Little League Baseball World Series 2025 team photos and players. Didn't Upper Euclid, no kidding. Massachusetts, Chihuahua, Mexico, Fairfield, Connecticut. Just looking at these, I'll share them with you in a set. Illinois, South Carolina, Yucca, Puerto Rico, Taipei, Brisbane. There you go. Brisbane North Region Little League from Brisbane, Queensland is competing in my home state, Williamsport, Pennsylvania, for the Little League World Series. Aruba, Czechia, Czech Republic, Tokyo, Japan's always there. Panama, Richmond, Texas. So there's the teams, courtesy of SportCat. Also this past weekend, you know what? I got to get a story on that. We got to talk about that. Jen Paywall, the first female umpire in Major League Baseball, worked 2 games this weekend. First base, and home plate. And apparently did so with some pretty decent fanfare, obvious media attention, but also, some really much deserved congratulations. I'm going to pull that up quick. And she hasn't quite yet passed Jen Psaki by typing in Jen P to a Google search. What is her scorecard? Ooh. Scorecard reveals mixed bag for MLB's first female umpire, Jen Paywall. I mean, it was her rookie. She's not going to have a World Series performance. She's probably scared silly. Yeah, you know what? Let's cover this now. I don't have any info for this as far as I don't have anything as far as a tone tip for this. I'm just pulling this up now. But let's see. Let me know if you can hear this. I'm going to try doing the audio. So you're not getting anything.
This is an automatic reading of the article. Scorecard reveals mixed bag for MLB's first female umpire, Jen Paywall. Jen Paywall made history over the week as the first woman to ever umpire a Major League Baseball game. Paywall then made even more history when she stepped behind the plate to call balls and strikes in a game between the Marlins and Braves. So how did she do? Paywall's debut game behind the plate got off to a rough start, as she called Braves starting pitcher Joey Wentz's first pitch a strike to Xavier Edwards despite it being well inside, off the plate. But Paywall settled in and had an extremely respectable performance on the whole. Scorecard shows Jen Paywall performed about as expected in MLB debut on Monday morning. The long-standing umpire grading website Scorecards released its performance reviews of every umpire behind the plate for games on Sunday. Paywall, as it turns out, performed pretty well. Paywall's scorecard shows that she had an overall accuracy of 93%, with an expected accuracy of 94%. So she more or less performed how you'd expect. Her overall consistency sat at 93%, while the league average is 94%. In a 7-1 victory for the Braves, Paywall's calls were estimated to benefit the Marlins to the tune of plus 0.28 run differential, which isn't all that uncommon when games aren't close in the late innings. She did struggle to a small degree with her called strike accuracy, missing 6 of 47 calls for 87%. However, the league average for such calls is just 88%. Here's where things get a bit rough for Paywall. Her 92.72% accuracy seems good on the surface, but it ranks 89th of 92 umpires to call a game behind the plate per scorecards, while her minus 1.45 accuracy relative to expected was 90th out of 92. Now, this is admittedly a small sample size. Nothing Paywall called was particularly egregious, and you'd expect her numbers to normalize given more games. Meanwhile, she finds herself in some good company, as veteran umpires Laz Diaz, C.B. Buckner, and Hunter Wendelstedt all sit in the bottom 10 in the league in accuracy. This is an automatic reading of the article. I never knew this. Texas woman goes to store to buy brisket. Then she uses method to ensure she picks the best one. Good brisket meat is typically...
Okay, I think we've changed articles there. So, yeah. That there's the actual Miami Marlins at the Atlanta Braves. Impactful missed calls, top of the 6th. Winston Myers, 1 out, base is empty, 3-1 count. Strike is called a ball. So that means they walked. Top of the 8th, Johnson to Johnson, 0 outs, base is empty, 1-1 count. Strike is called a ball. So here's something that this system does not take into consideration. There's always been a misconception with how you call strikes, balls and strikes in baseball. So many people say it's where the catcher catches it. So many people say it's where the ball crosses the plate. If it crosses the plate. If it one-hops, if it bounces, it's not a strike. So what is it? The rule book says that it's where it crosses the plate. Okay. So now they have this radar system that they use to gauge. Oh, Ken's right. Here comes the coffee. To gauge the accuracy of the pitch. Well, what you see there is a rectangle based on the knee and the midpoint between essentially the top of the belt. I mean, pitchers don't want the top of the strike zone called strikes. So, and then that rectangle that you see is put at the front edge of home plate. What's the entire plate? If it crosses the back corner of home plate, that's still a strike. So it doesn't really account for that. It's going to say that pitch was inside because it's not going to account for the fact that it broke later and still crossed the strike zone. Additionally, if a catcher sets up outside, so as you're seeing that strike zone on your screen where these balls are, this is on the outside of a right-handed batter who would be standing over here in these paragraphs. And set up outside. And the pitch comes to the inside part of the strike zone, like say where this number 1 is. That's still a strike based on the radar. However, 30,000 people just saw that catcher's hand go like this and move inside on that right-handed batter. They don't consider the fact that it's still within the strike zone. They just saw that hand go inside. And so you call that a ball. And yes, that is based on where the catcher caught it. That's how I grew up umpiring baseball before all this ridiculous radar shit got put into play. So I think that's what we're dealing with here. With a lot of these missed, quote unquote, missed pitches by umpires. The other effect that this is having on baseball is the fact that, for me growing up as a kid and watching any pro baseball, whether it's Major League Baseball or going to, in my case, the Reading Phillies and watching minor league baseball, American Legion baseball, high school baseball, college, whatever. There's certain things that are no longer part of the game. Learning the umpire's strike zone has always been the job of every player on every team, particularly in developing the relationship with that umpire, particularly the catchers. I've always introduced myself to a catcher I'm working behind for the first time, and we would always be on a first name basis. Even, lower levels, I want that catcher to call me by my first name. I want to be able to talk to him. I want him to be able to talk to me. Some umpires call lower parts of the knees than others. I could never get down too low. In fact, I honestly, I was not good at calling the knees. I was the top of the knee, and that would be laser perfect. But having that top part of the baseball hit that lower edge of the strike zone that sits at the top of the knee, it was always hard for me to do. I just thought it was too low. And then there's the inside and outside corners. Inside corner, I was also, obviously, I'm right there. That's coming right at me. That was the easiest side to call. Outside corners, this is one of the places I think where umpires can differentiate between each other or differ between each other. And again, why you need to learn who the umpire is and what their strike zone is. Now with this stupid shit, it just takes baseball out of baseball. And I don't know, if you want it to be mechanical, put a buzzer and a radar system out there. And save, $500,000 per crew, because you don't need as many umpires in your staff if you're not going to have somebody behind home plate. There's technology advancing the game, and there's technology screwing it up. Which one do you think? I think this one is. All right, let me take a break. Congratulations to Jen Paywall, first lady umpire to work regular season in Major League Baseball. Congratulations again. 2 games this past weekend. I didn't see either one, but aside from this, whatever post scorecard, there you go, Ken. There's another one. Besides the scorecard thing, where it is, she did very well and was very accepted by players, coaches, her crew, and so on. So hope to see her back soon. And congrats again to Jen Paywall of Major League Baseball. I got to take a break. When we come back, we will actually get to Anthony Albanese and the Aussies and their acceptance of Palestine. This is Up the Middle on the Mastiff Media Network. We'll be back after these words. Tone tip coming in this first ad spot. What are you doing later? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to the gym, but not just any gym. Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Walk right up to the door. There's a QR code on the door. You can sign up right there. You've got no excuse. But not only that, their equipment is amazing. It's kept up well. It's expanded. There's stretching area. There's CrossFit. There's hardcore training. A dedicated area for stretching. dunk tanks, sauna, everything you need to get that Hernando beach body or keep your Clearwater beach body. You can train with your shirt off, you can scream, you can yell, and you won't be intimidated either. Go to Momentum Fitness and Wellness on US 19 in Bayonet Point, Jasmine Estates. Build the momentum at Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Seamless Communications. That's our phone system that we got here, and I love it. I have 2 vanity phone numbers, both of which are floating across your screen right now. 1-888-88 Yergz, 844-gay LGBT, and I can also add our new depending on where you're at, you might not have to do the +1. There you go. 267-716-1932. Now checking WhatsApp. And that should be, if you put that into your WhatsApp, you should be able to call us from anywhere in the world. I took a call over a test call over the weekend from Katie at Dare Media. And that worked just fine. Oh, and I put that up the other bottom third box down. Well, Seamless Communications, if you're looking for business phone, Seamless Communications, absolutely a way to go. Like I said, that's our phone company. All these sponsors that we got, we put to work on some level, to some degree, somehow. Seamless Communications certainly has been working for us. Scan the QR code on your screen or go to Seamless, SEAMLESS -communications.com. Set up a demo with Dar. That's our rep. That's him with the company for the Tampa Bay area. But even though he's here in Tampa Bay, he really is worldwide. And yes, that includes you guys in Australia, Europe, Asia, wherever outside the United States. He can still provide you with seamless communications. All right, so Anthony Albanese, the newly reelected PM of Australia, has made the announcement. Yeah, that's it. Has made the announcement that they will be supporting and recognizing Palestine as early as this September. This from The Guardian. Labor Friends of Palestine applaud Albanese's move to recognize statehood as it happened. Penny Wong shown here with Anthony Albanese. Let me see which there's. Oh, I knew that was going to start happening too. The yawning. So here's the part that I don't understand. In the What We Learned segment that you see there on your screen, the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, announced Australia will move to recognize Palestinian statehood at the UN in September. Can they not recognize it now? Do they have to wait till a meeting which, as you may know, every September was like a class reunion for us Secret Service agents. Everybody got assigned to something at the UN. The UN National Assembly, or the UN General Assembly, UNGA, as we know it, happened every September for about a week. There were some countries that came, there were some events before the actual meetings. So some countries came in early. Some countries were here for just their speech, like the president. He doesn't hang around to listen to others. That's what he's got an ambassador for. And that would cause additional security that would really send things out of whack. It already does when he's there. But it's mostly for a week. And then there's like a third week, too, that there's some other things that are sometimes going on. And there's just other things in New York City that these people want to see. Because keep in mind, a lot of these people are being tourists on their country's dime. Oh, Zach's car won't start. Messaged me that 45 minutes ago. Shit. He always calls me or messages right as I'm going on the air. Oh, I feel bad. Phone was on mute. So hopefully it's just a dead battery, which would be a much cheaper fix. But I think kids needing a new car. He took care of it. I think there's some other things that could probably be doing. Like, for example, less of the work himself. But, all right, so back to what we learned Monday. And keep in mind, it's 12 hours ahead. So their Monday is over. Oh, I hear a little van. Hold on one second. I thought that was... I'm looking at the window. I don't want to leave a $500 microphone sitting on my front porch. The federal government said the Israeli government was extinguishing the prospect of a two-state solution with its actions in Gaza. Albanese revealed he spoke with his Israeli counterpart, Benjamin Netanyahu, last week. Susan Ley and the coalition opposition said they have serious concerns about the Albanese government's decision to unilaterally recognize a Palestinian state outside of a proper peace and two-state process. Netanyahu said Australia would take similar action if there were a catastrophe like Hamas's 7 o'clock attack. Right next to Melbourne or right next to Sydney, issuing a forceful defense of the country's plans to take military control of Gaza City. Here's the difference, Ben. Nothing in Australia is already occupied by anybody else, except for, you would say, perhaps the outback, which is occupied by Aboriginal people. However, that's also occupied by Australians. So, of course, they're going to defend that. I think Netanyahu's reaching. Environment Minister Murray Watt apologized to South Australians who felt the government was too slow to act on the algal bloom. I think that's a totally different story. Caffeine Phobic says NSW Premier Chris Minns' suggestions she sue the state for more than $2 million in compensation are a slap in the face. Also not part of the same story, I don't believe. So I hear, oh, there it is. And they're pulling over. They're pulling over. I get to be like Mr. Rogers today. The mailman's coming to the door. And there she is. And she didn't see that the blinds were open on this window, so she just... New microphone at the door. Let me play some music and get that inside quick, and I'll be right back. Puppy thinks it's for her. Bring that back up for the... Can't wait to know if I'm going to do a microphone opening reveal. I already have this microphone. It's what you see on the screen right now. But maybe. I've got myself a steak knife, so I also want to stay tuned for my my son. I just got the message from the U.S. Postal Service that it was delivered. All right. Well, here it is. Box from... I don't know that it actually came from Prime. I don't know if that's how I think somebody I hear a phone ringing. That's my landline out in the garage. God damn. I've got this thing taped good. Jesus. Wow. Should I go from another end? Jesus Christ. There we go. I always hate just going straight down into a box with a steak knife or any other kind of knife to open it because you don't know where the product is. You got like insulation protecting it. So this is the actual case that it comes in, which is good that they sent that along. Nice Ziploc bag to protect it from the foam insulation. So this is the case that the mic comes in. Same thing that mine came in. A little cute little handle. That's always important. sense the sarcasm. Yeah, here it is. Now, obviously, I'm not going to unplug the one that I've got and plug this in. But Ken, you were making, according various sex jokes in the earlier part of the show. Here you go. Can I focus on there? There we go. So, yeah, kind of excited to have a second mic. I don't have this rack system for it. This is called this horseshoe looking thing with a spider web in the middle of it. It's called a shock mount. So I can hit the table and you won't hear that because the mic is actually hanging in the middle of that mess. Where here, it's just going to connect to the top. Yeah, like that. Right there at that spot where the shock mount is currently connected. So, yeah, very happy. We'll do a sound check. Probably not till this evening, because right after today's show, I have calls I got to get ready for. I told you about the phone system thing happening, and then I got to edit today's show. I am caught up, and I thought I was caught up before with dropping the videos that I edited, and apparently that did not happen. So now they're all scheduled. I even went back and looked, and they're still scheduled. So one per day, give people a chance to listen. For those of who are fans of the RSS feed, and look at Superfan Ken getting all funny. Look how black it is, strong and sturdy. Yep. Good, thick, black mic. Love putting my face right up to it. I hope this mic does well for you. Yeah, I hope so too. And now I got to get somebody else in here in the studio to talk to me. Speaking of someone coming in to talk, we should be seeing Jane in the next couple of minutes. We'll see what other stories we get to with her. But also the Ron Howard story. This is interesting. Where is it? Little League. There we go. This one realtor friend of mine from when I lived in LA, there was this really hot realtor. I didn't know how much he was into partying when I was out there. He's like sober now and doing well with it. I'm happy for him. I don't know why. I lost a story. That's a problem. Scroll through, try to find. There's Jane. To pull this up here. There we go. I don't know why I lost that earlier, but there it is. And speak of the devil. Hey there.
Hey, I was just looking up something that I thought we might discuss today.
Okay, what's that?
Well, I think I sent it to you.
Oh yeah.
It came across my Facebook page as
Yeah.
a message from Ron Howard. Now, I knew it was probably not authored by Ron Howard, but I didn't care. What I liked was what it said. So
Sure.
anyway, I
That's
was just trying to find that for us. Yeah, I think I got it now. View post. There we go. Okay. Anyway, so Howard, right away we have to catch up to who we are and what we're doing. So,
Yeah.
hi.
Hello there. I got a toy in the mail
And
just moments
very
ago.
good. What was that?
I got a toy in the mail just moments ago. I unboxed it and showed
Oh
everybody.
dear.
I found this microphone very cheap. It used, but still, and it's in very like new condition. And I second
Nice.
one for when if this one should break, God forbid, or I get an in studio guest. Usually have somebody in and set them up with the mic.
Well, I think it's interesting that you got a new mic and you're excited about it. And we got a delivery today of a something that we can wash the outside of our windows of our house, an extension thing. So we were excited about that. Yeah. It's interesting to know what people are excited about.
That's funny you mentioned it because I was actually just thinking, it's probably way overdue. I have a squeegee like you would use on the hood or on the windshield of your car, but with like a 4-foot long, 5-foot long pole on it that I can do, all the windows easily.
Well, we have had the squeegee on the long pole that Paul has used for years, but then he has to keep changing it from the squeegee to the washer thing, So now we have a second pole, so he doesn't have to do the exchange.
Oh, he doesn't have the two-sided.
No, he doesn't. No, he just has a very long squeegee. It's really nice. It's really nice. And he's such a perfectionist, so he does a great job. But what I'm interested in is, what people are excited about receiving in the mail.
Yeah.
It tells a lot about people's lifestyle and a lot about their character, And so that's just kind of fun to discuss.
I don't get out.
It's kind of fun to discuss.
I don't get out. I'm looking
but speaking of that kind of thing, I want to congratulate you for sending in your photograph and your little story to the Atlantic under their little things. I assume you sent it to them and not just to me.
Yes, after I got the perfect back from you, I waited for any edits. But, yeah, I sent it right away, right after that. Did you see it by any chance?
There was nothing. There was nothing English.
Oh, can you hear me?
What's that?
I heard you say there was nothing, but then you cut out.
Oh, there was nothing. As your former English teacher, there was nothing to correct.
Oh, wow. That was a first.
I thought you might be pleased about that. And by the way, for the Leslie and I are publishing the spot that you shared about Mastiff Media as one of our advertisers. So that should be coming up this week also. Yeah.
Awesome.
That'll be good.
What is the status of that monthly spot that I have with you guys? Does that renew
just keeps continuing unless you stop it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I don't remember which credit card I used to pay for that. So if it
I can't tell. I wouldn't be able to tell you. Yeah. Anyway, so my news is that on Thursday, a couple of days ago, we launched the booklet, the Bear Fever booklet that I've been talking about probably for months. and
Right.
we sold out within 24 hours. So we
Wow.
have to go to a second printing already. So that's it. And it was so much fun at the launch. I mean, we had a news station come to interview the woman who wrote the book, who put it together.
Yeah.
And some of my students came, former students came, who were,
Awesome.
who were with me during the initial thing 20 years ago. And of course,
Was it the pool party?
the pool party? No.
What was the one where you were?
Oh, no.
Concerned?
No, I didn't see them. But some of the kids who remembered me and have been pleased with the Bear Fever Project showed up, and that was kind of fun to reminisce with them. And of course, residents from Chestnut Knoll, whom I knew back in the day, who are now residents there, 20 years older, right? I got to see some of those, and people from the community who loved the Bears came. And like I said, within 24 hours, we sold out of the copies we had initially printed. So today in the Expression is an article saying, hold on, we're getting a second printing done. Yep. Yeah. So we're excited about that. I mean, awesome. It was really well received. And not only that, I mean, people whom I respect, a very good friend of mine and my husband, who's a graphic designer and, of course, Papa Bear for the project, read the thing. And my friend Bob Wood read it yesterday while he was sitting, or part of it, while he was sitting in the studio. And all of them have said how well done it is. I mean, graphically and the content of it as well. It was interesting and readable, and so that means so much to me. And one of my friends said that in reading the book, she started it like at 7:45 on Thursday night and was going to plan to read for an hour or so, but she couldn't stop until she finished the entire thing. And she said also, what was important to me was, she said also that she did not realize all, what the painting or the content of the painting of the bears. She learned about what the bears meant to the sponsors, some of the details that were painted on the bear and so forth. Now she figures she has to go back and relook at all of them because she was not aware of, what they stood for, what they meant, and so forth. And that means a lot to me too, because that speaks to getting to know more about the sponsors. That speaks to getting to know more about the artist. And that's what the project is about, to bring people together, to understand, because the more we know about one another, the more we understand, the more we like each other, the stronger the bonds are within the community. And that is the mission of the project. So my friend Diane, who created the booklet, was in tears reading the comments that people wrote after they had read the booklet. And I, of course, am thrilled to death with the comments that people are making. So that's my news that's my big news for the week. That's it. That's all I got to say.
Well, that's splendid. That's awesome.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And this is the one you're already planning a second for the books that are not.
Yes. For the bears that are not yet represented. Yeah. Next year, there will be chapter 2 that will, what do you say? Chapter 2 that will feature what we call the out, a featured chapter 1. Chapter 1 is 61 bears that are installed within the immediate Boyertown community. But there are 30 some that live outside Boyertown proper that we want to focus on. And some of them are in private residences, and some of them have left the area with their sponsors. So those are the ones that will be featured next year. Plus, whatever happens, I mean, we have 2 in the works right now, and I have several orders going, several orders in the works. So there'll be close to 100 probably by next year. Yeah.
Can't wait to monetize well enough to get one for here.
Why didn't I do that? I would be a little bit richer today, but There's no
Yeah.
profit really woven into the project. There's, there are a couple of bucks for insurance and a
Oh,
couple
yeah.
of bucks for, for whatever printing things we do, like maps and, and stuff like that. But other than that, we did it for the love of the community, and I guess
Sure.
that's what we're continuing to do. So
Yeah.
anyway,
That's
my news. That's my news. That's all I got.
very cool. Well,
So you had something on Facebook that you were not particularly happy about. You were ranting about one thing or another, but it wasn't clear what it was that you were ranting about. So you want to talk about that?
I have a weekly meeting with the folks in Australia. That's 9:00 Saturday morning.
Okay.
And it started at 9:30. And one of the guys in Australia, kind of like my equivalent, one of the bosses of their company, just scheduled it the following week right at 9:00 instead of 9:30. And I caught that. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to bitch about a half an hour. And he did move it up because 9 a.m. for me here is 9 p.m. in Western Australia. It's 11 p.m. in Sydney, in Brisbane, and Eastern Australia. So where he has some team members joining. I think I need to let a puppy outside.
Uh-oh.
I'll be right back. Because she's going to pick me if I don't.
Okay. I'll say hi to Ken this morning. He's been busy with you online here. And I see that there was a debut with him of the new microphone. And he indicates that you've had some interesting, sexy conversation about that microphone this morning. So I can only imagine, what the commentary was about. But yes, I thought the same thing as he, shall we say, unleashed it from its container. So, So anyway, so Ken, thank you. Good morning. And it's good that you are such a loyal fan of both sides now. We're really happy about that. Unleash the mic. Yes. I can imagine. I was just telling Ken that I could imagine some of your comments when you unleashed the mic.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
We don't need to go into those right now. Or again, shall we say.
Behavior from my younger days.
Exactly. Yes. Somewhat junior high, shall we say. Fascination.
Yeah, it started there, maybe.
Anyway, so you were talking about your rant, if you would like to continue.
Yeah, so we've got this company that we're working with that does the tone tip. And that's where it's an audible sound that you'll hear, maybe. Let me see. I'll play one quickly. Ken, get ready. Here comes one.
Very faint.
How about there? Did you hear that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So we've toned them down a little bit. But what the tone tip does, and I gave Ken the heads up because he's helping us test, there's an app that we're asking people to download. And by doing that, you then turn on the mic, and that's on this app. And I'm trying to put up the thing now. You turn on the mic that's on this app, and it hears that pinging sound, that high-pitched tone that you just heard. And it interprets that into information.
Oh.
Just if I would have put a QR code on the screen.
Yeah.
And you can scan that with your phone. Well, the problem is so many of our listeners are watching with their phone and scan the screen if that's what they're watching the show on. So they won't get that information.
Mm-hmm.
Because the tone tip is like an audio QR code.
Okay.
And so I've been, for the stories we've been doing so far, I've been sending a tone tip with the link to the story. And I didn't find the Ron Howard one fast enough, or I'd create one for that too.
Oh,
But
I have it if you need it.
Oh no, I have the link now because it's up on the other screen.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't have it last night. I thought you emailed it to me.
I don't remember what I did.
No, you sent it to me via Facebook. I found it.
Okay.
You sent it to me via Facebook, and that makes sense because you were saying how you found it on Facebook, which there it is. So that's
there you go.
Communicate with me at that point. So, but what I can do is create. Well, I mean, I can also share that with you. You just go to the Tone Tip website and log in. Those of us that have the creator account set up. So there it says add new tone tip. So first you got to put some sort of picture in with it. So I'm just going to, whatever we've got in the interest of time. But I can put like that headshot of Ron Howard, for example. I'm just going to put a Bitcoin picture in there. Title, Ron Howard. Image command. This is where you put the actual link. So I'll put this from the Facebook link. Copy that. Paste it there. That's a website. So you can do a website. I can put the location of, say we're live somewhere, and I want everybody to come and see us at, yesterday was our community farmers market. Okay. I can put the location of where the farmers market is. I can put a phone number, and then Ron Howard. And patriotism. And then here's some details on the button that's going to create. You just put in Facebook story or something like that. And then again, that same URL. I think is what I put in there. Yeah, okay. And then that's it. And then you click create tone tip, and it sends you to this page. So the list of tone tips I've created. Ron Howard's down here. These 14 and 19 are the two frequencies that it comes in. So download each one of these to my tone tip folders for today.
And Ken wants you to send another tone tip alert in case you didn't see his comment and request.
Well, that's what I'll do is here comes the 14. And the 19. And now you should have, if and we're testing this, so hopefully it's going well enough. But he should have picked that up on his tone tip app. And the thing about, the benefit of that is if you're driving. Am I starting?
Yes.
Are you hearing static?
Not just a touch now and then.
From me?
Not much. Yeah.
No, I think it's gone. Okay. If you're driving and, somebody puts that QR code on the screen, you're going to miss it. But if we also send it as a tone tip, then everybody's going to get it. You're not going to have to, nobody's going to get hurt in an accident or anything. So yeah, sent the other tone tip for the story that Jane and I are about to talk about right now.
So yeah, so in this particular Facebook post, there are 16 different comments about one thing or another going on in the world. And it says, it starts with, I'm a liberal, but that doesn't mean what a lot of you apparently think it does. Let's break it down, shall we? Because quite frankly, I'm getting a little tired of being told what I believe and what I stand for. Spoiler alert, not every liberal is the same, though the majority of liberals I know think along roughly these same lines. And, it talks about, the country should take care of its weakest members, that healthcare is a right, not a privilege, education should be affordable. Liberals don't believe money should be taken from you and given to people who don't want to work. Talks about, I don't throw around, I'm willing to pay higher taxes lightly, but the company should be required to pay their employees a decent, livable wage. I'm not anti-Christian. I have no desire to stop Christians from being Christians, to close churches, to ban the Bible, to forbid prayer in school. By the way, prayer in school is not illegal. Compulsory prayer in school is and should be illegal. All I ask is that Christians recognize my right to live according to my beliefs. And I get pissed off, this is what the post says, that a politician is trying to legislate scripture into law. I'm not offended by Christianity. I'm offended that you're trying to force me to live by your religion's rules. Okay. And goes on to say, this was a favorite of mine. You know how you get really upset at the thought of Muslims imposing Sharia law on you? Well, that's how I feel about Christians trying to impose biblical law on me. Be a Christian, do your thing. Just don't force it on me or mine. Number 8 is, I don't believe LGBT people should have more rights than you. I just believe they should have the same rights as you. Number 9 is, I don't believe illegal immigrants should come to America and have the world at their feet, especially since this isn't what they do. Number 10 is the one that I feel strongly, really strong. I mean, the others are a given for me. But number 10, I don't think everybody quite understands a liberal's point of view. And this I get from my father, who was a very strong pro-union person, because I listened to him and my uncle many years ago have many arguments about unions, and my uncle believed that unions were ruining the country and capitalism and all that kind of stuff. And my father was a laborer at Firestone Tire and Rubber Company here in the area, and he was very pro-union because he believed it was unions that kept America's feet to the fire about being fair and just and kind. Anyway, number 10 in here is the one that I really thought I really wanted to talk about a little bit today. And it reads this way. And I couldn't have said it better myself. And that's what I liked about the post, because it was so well written, concise, to the point, good attitude, good tone to the language and whatnot. But number 10 says this. I don't believe the government regulate everything. Greed is such a driving force in our country. We need regulations to prevent cut corners, environmental destruction, tainted food and water, unsafe materials and consumable goods or medical equipment. It's not that I want the government's hands in everything. I just don't trust people trying to make money to ensure that their products, their practices and so on are actually safe. Is the government devoid of shadiness? Of course not. But with those regulations in place, consumers have recourse if they're harmed. And companies are liable. They're accountable. They're liable for medical bills, environmental cleanup, and so forth. It just seems like common sense when the alternative to government regulation is letting companies bring their bottom line into the equation. That, to me, needs more attention, because now we have the government, getting rid of the consumer safety and protection. We have the government getting rid of environmental protections. We have the government getting rid of so many things that were designed, in effect, to keep us safe and healthy. You know, because what we're concerned with is that the businesses should be able to make the biggest profit they absolutely can. That's their golden rule, making a profit. And I don't trust people whose morals do not involve taking care of the country and taking care of the people that they're supposed to be serving. I don't trust them because not all of them are good people. Some of them are. And I read a book. One of the books that I read this weekend was There Is No Such Thing as Business Ethics by Maxwell. I forget what his name is. Anyway, he's written a number of different kinds of books, and my daughter gave me one for my birthday or Mother's Day or something like that, and I read it. And the point of the book is that there is no such thing as business ethics because ethics is not separated from business or your personal life. There's just one set of ethics. So there's no separate business ethics. And the point of this book is, Maxwell's book is that if everyone, whether you're in business or personally or whatever, but if everyone lived by the golden rule, that's the ethical standard that should be set everywhere. And it's not like the golden rule is Christian. The author gives the same rule in slightly different language from a dozen or more different religions. And I've read that everywhere. You know, it comes across on Facebook all the time. I've read it everywhere. I've studied comparative religions. It's everywhere. The golden rule is everywhere. And that should be the standard for every business. But I don't trust people like our current administration to be concerned with anything except power and money. So anyway, that one spoke to me, and that was number 10. Just if you want to go to 16, the other ones, number 11, I believe our current administration is fascist, not because I dislike them, but if you study the Third Reich, you can't miss these similarities. Number 12, I believe that systemic racism and misogyny in our society is much worse than people think. I agree. I'm not interested in coming after your blessed guns, nor is anyone serving in government, but we could use some common sense gun regulations. Number 14, I believe in so-called political correctness because it's the polite thing to do. If you tell me you want to be called Yergz instead of Ross, I should do that because that's your preference. But I don't.
You've got an exemption.
I violated. Yes, I violated. I will try to be better.
No.
Number 15, I believe in funding sustainable energy. And this is an important one to me, too. I can remember a couple of elections ago when people asked for whom I was voting. I'd say I will examine their climate, their environmental, their platform on environmental protection. And that's who I will vote for. And then finally, I believe that women should not be treated as a separate class of human. They should be paid the same as men who do the same work, should have the same rights as men, and should be free from abuse. Why on earth shouldn't they be? And that's how the post ends. Anyway, I love the whole thing. I don't care who wrote it. It came across as Ron Howard, which I suspected was not the case, and I don't care. It was well said, and a lot of the things that were said, I totally agree with. So there.
How do you?
Now, you wanted to talk about one of those, and I interrupted
that's okay.
you. Which one was it?
How do you? How do they go about actually confirming or disproving?
I don't know. I don't waste my time.
Whether he actually said that or not.
Doing that. I don't care. Yeah,
well, I mean,
it doesn't matter to me who said it. Whoever said it, whoever wrote it, did a great job.
Yeah, I've said number 8 with regards to the LGBT rights.
Okay. I mean, throw women in there as well. You know.
Yeah. Well,
human beings should be treated equally.
The very reason that the way that so many people react to members of the LGBT community is the very reason why we have a pride celebration in the first place.
Exactly. Exactly.
I just I found some lost episodes from June that I thought were also edited and dropped and released and out there for people on the RSS feed. And I realized when I was looking over it again today, there was a huge gap at the end of what would have been season 4 and the end of June. And I realized that there were 3 weeks missing. So I went and cut them out of the entire 2-hour episode and created them and got them scheduled to be released. And they'll all be caught up by the end of this week.
Oh, very good. Amy will be pleased.
One of the episodes there was for the end of June. I did my Pride episode and my Pride article for The Expression. And it's dumbfounding just how hateful people are.
Yes.
And they say stupid shit like, I'm not going to celebrate Pride until we have a month for veterans. Like, well, if you really cared about veterans as much as you sound like it, you would know that May is Military Appreciation Month. And they already have a month.
And several days.
Yeah. And I put that as the, I forget how I worded it, but I stole it from a talking head named Brian Tyler Cohen, who
Brian, yes.
At the beginning of June, the beginning of Pride Month. And he used to be so prim and proper, skinny suit, skinny necktie. And once this past election came about, the gloves were off.
Talk about unleashed.
Yeah, exactly. He went to the hoodie and just pulled up a t-shirt and really chilled it out quite a bit. He also started increasing the language. He dropped the S word and the F word quite a bit now. I won't say quite a bit, but he does it really
judiciously.
Yeah. He uses it. Like, I've even heard Anderson Cooper call something bullshit. But that's when it was. He doesn't say, "Oh, I was bullshitting with Kathy Griffin over the weekend." No, he says that to a senator's face.
That's pretty. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I liked my headline for the Expression article that we published the last day of June, and it was Pride Month. What? Only a month? Because I thought that said it as well.
Well, that's and I also commented how I do try and live my life with pride every day in what I do, the people that I do it with. I don't think we're going to get to that story today, Ken. Ken sent me a story about this white guy who was being flagged down by a black man and what sounded like the photographer, a black woman, who was filming a sinkhole that as it was developing in the middle of the street. And they're flagging down this guy in his truck. And it was, about instant karma. They're flagging this guy down to stop him because he's going to crash. And he sees that they're black and probably not dressed normal compared to him. And he flips them off and yells some racist shit at them and goes head first into the sinkhole.
No. Talk about instinct.
Yeah, that was the title of it. Yeah. And the back end of his truck was sticking straight out of the ground. Yeah. But that if they cared so much about the military, they would know that May is Military Appreciation Month, and really that their argument is just bullshit. That they just want to bitch about gays having a month.
They just want to hate. That's all. Hate is so satisfying to people. It's such a shame.
Yeah. It's I just don't get it.
It's just pathetic. It's just pathetic.
My dad's mom, when we get all pissed off and want to have some sort of attitude, she says it takes 500 muscles to frown, only 38 to smile. It's easier to be nice, but she's right. People take the extra energy and bitch. Which is
I have so little time for it these days. I mean, really, I don't even want to be around. I just don't.
Well, that's the Facebook post. I just meant that through that very general statement out there. And some people inquired, like, hey, one of them was the one guy from the meeting. He comes in 2 hours late. And then it starts talking about stupid shit and expects, like, I got stuff to do. I don't want to be there for 2 hours. We shouldn't have.
Right.
We should be able to get this stuff done in a lot less than that. And, to be clear, I'm making friends from halfway around the world. It's really the only chance we get to talk, to shoot the shit a little bit. Mm-hmm. So we knock that out too. But then I think they were trying to just bust my balls more than anything. One of the other guys, Sport Cat, actually, who we're going to be hearing about in 20 minutes, get on me about Trump versus Biden. And like all this, shit that Biden did wrong. And I'm like, why are you still concerned with somebody who's no longer president? If you could put out a decent candidate yourself, you wouldn't have to worry about that. Mm-hmm. And if there was so much that he's done that's so bad, then you'd be busy fixing it instead of screwing it up all over again.
All over again. I mean, yeah, it's just pathetic. There was, came across my Facebook page today, a photograph of our former president enjoying an ice cream cone.
I saw that.
Yeah. I wish the absolute best for him in Rehoboth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or wherever he happens to be. Yeah.
If it's the one, I think I've been in that ice cream store.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
Yeah, I didn't even look because I've been in ice cream stores in Rehoboth. I should check to see if I've been in that one.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of which one I think I've been on one of the side streets. That is becoming much more of a 365, town.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not just a beach town.
Yeah. It's not just the summer anymore.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Now, Ken put up something that's worth considering. His response to those who bitch about Pride and Black History Month. He says, I like asking them, so when have you been persecuted due to your race, religion, or sexuality? That's a good response. Yeah. That's a good response. Yeah. Asking a question is always I think, a good way to respond because it's not defensive.
Yeah. So. Well, yeah. Yeah. But I do like the very way that people treat us, especially during Pride Month, is the whole reason why we have a Pride Month.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Going back to the lost episode thing, I found that those episodes from June.
Oh, yes.
Yet.
Okay.
And the June 30th, the last Monday, was the last Monday of a month. So you were on for the first hour. Mm-hmm. go on for about, the half hour because you got to split. We were talking about your intro that you did for my story.
Yes.
So that was. But then after
I like that.
Yeah. After you signed off, I actually read the article on the air.
Okay.
So I'm listening to that, watching. I'm like, wow, yeah, we did make a good combo. That was a good team.
It was. Yep.
And I talked after I said it briefly as you concluded your review and intro. But then after you signed off, I said again how when you first approached me about doing like a intro, or I thought we were kind of like co-writing, not two separate segments. And so I didn't kind of get it right away. And then I just thought, well, just do your part, turn it in, see what she does with it, and let it go. Like if you were going to add comments too, or but then you did the separate intro to mine, and it just fit so well. I'm like, wow, good. This was cool. I like this. Yeah. That was a good story. And I don't remember her name, but there was somebody who soon after we launched after you dropped it in the expression, I think there was a someone.
Okay.
And it was nice to hear stories like this. And
I think that was Sandra Williams.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I think so. And I made the generalization, presuming that she was straight, and reminded her that the A in LGBTQIA stands for ally.
Allies. Yeah.
And I said I make the generalization that she's straight, and I go, not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything. I like that. Yeah.
But
that's good.
The
I
A
like
stands for ally. Mm-hmm. So we need them too.
Very good. Very good. So let's see. What else did we want to talk about today? I know.
Go ahead.
I was reading, and I don't know if you have any thoughts about this at all, but prior to getting on the air today, I was reading an article from The Atlantic. I was reading an article from The Atlantic about euthanasia in Canada.
I did not subscribe to that yet, by the way. But
you did not? Okay. No. Well, I was reading an article that will appear in the magazine, and if you do subscribe, they will send you the September issue of The Atlantic. But I was reading an article about euthanasia in Canada. That that it's legal in Canada for doctors to assist you in what they call in your transition.
Yeah.
And I think that's absolutely lovely. So I didn't know if that's a topic we can talk about at some point, but I found the article fascinating, smart, and once again, just, cheer on the Canadians for being smarter than we are. So anyway.
Yeah. When I think about people that I've known who have been
sick. Very sick or very much in pain.
And the suffering and not stage of their illness. Yeah, because you and I both know somebody who made that decision. My mom's brother, I think a classmate of yours, my mom's older brother, Bill.
Okay. Yes.
Somebody you figured out was my cousin, Eileen Dautrick.
Okay.
From the Tri-County Chamber.
Formerly of the.
Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about. Her dad had cancer for roughly a third of his life. And I remember when he was first diagnosed, he was pretty much my age.
Wow.
And the decision to, aggressively fight was because he wanted to walk his daughter down the aisle.
Mm-hmm.
And then as life continued, there were other milestones that he wanted to be around to see. But by the time it got to the end, his life was just so, without getting into
Compromise. Yeah.
details, it was just so not what he lived for.
Mm-hmm.
And that's obviously, we don't have that law here in the States, so everybody knows what happened next. But I can't say that I blame him.
Right. Well, we are kinder to, I was kinder to my Cocker Spaniel
Yeah.
than the world will be to me, at least in this country at the present time. Mm-hmm.
And isn't it like if either of us gets to that stage and our families assist us in getting that assisted,
Mm-hmm.
isn't that illegal for them here?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So
Yep.
We've really got to take a serious look at that.
Yep. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Maybe in conjunction with like living wills,
Mm-hmm.
and what's called a DNR notice, stands for resuscitate.
My husband, for the past couple of months, is wearing a wristband is DNR.
Really? What? I got something for you that'll make him change his mind on that real quick.
Oh, really?
What if he does well at the casino? He's not going to get to spend the money.
Well, he doesn't care about that. He says he does not go to the casino for the money. This is what he says, which proves that his brain and my brain don't operate the same way. Anyway, he says he goes to the casino for the thrill of the chance that it will pay off. I don't get that at all.
Did we had to have talked about this. Lewis Black.
Yes, I love Lewis Black.
Yeah. Okay, so you know who he is.
Yes, I do.
About the people, anticipation is the name of the bit.
Yeah.
And he talks about, golfers getting all dressed up like a pimp and when they spend a day out in a golf course, dressing like they're chasing their woman down.
Yeah.
And then he talks about people going to the casinos. You people have most. He gets like angry right away.
I know.
And like there is no other scale or something like that. And the casino owes me. It gets into where they're still spending money even though they're broke. Well, he doesn't have to go to an Ivy League school and go to a state college.
There you go.
By the end of it, that learn to draw shit you find in the back of the magazine can qualify as college.
Right. Very good. Very good. Well, yeah, so we don't do fancy vacations. We don't, go out to dinner. He doesn't golf. In fact, when he first started going to the casino, I, what do you say, tamped down my objections by calling it he was going to play golf, because it costs so much money to dress like a pimp, as you say, and the golf fees and the caddy fees and the lunch afterward and this, that, and the other thing. He would prefer to do something else with his money. And I also figured and tell people, hey, it's one of the only pieces of entertainment you can do where you have at least a chance to come home with more money than you took. But for him, it's a source of pleasure. He says right now that the air in casinos is just so much better for his COPD than anywhere else. So that's another reason he goes, so that he can breathe better.
He's actually not joking about that.
No.
They actually pump in oxygen into the gaming rooms so people stay there longer.
Yeah, exactly. And he recognizes it. Yeah. So it gives me a little bit of, free time. And I don't mind that either. So anyway, it works for both of us.
But you guys you had an uncle down here in Florida.
Yes, who is no longer living. Yes.
Sure. But I thought you guys did some continuation where you go on like a trip down here, or a trip back to wherever.
For 10 years after I retired, we took 2 or 3 weeks, and we drove to either to Naples or to Fort Myers Beach, where my uncle lived, had a home. And we would visit people in either locations for a couple of days. And that was our big vacation. And then we visit relatives in Massachusetts, and now and again take a junket to Las Vegas. I love Las Vegas. Nobody knows me in Las Vegas.
That's a city I've been to, and I'm like, how do you live here? Just blow through all kinds of money. On the strip, or even in the off-strip locations. There's slot machines at the airport,
everywhere,
and at the grocery store.
Well, I'm not a player. I can walk by every single one of them. I like the landscaping. I like the fact. I love the landscape. It's so flat. And then there are these amazing mountains that just takes my breath away for some reason. So that's what I like about it. And just wandering around, people watching. I love that. And of course, I always love to go to the Big Elvis show. So
really,
have you ever been to the Big Elvis show? Oh, he's so good.
Not seen.
Oh my God, he's so good. We must.
That took me there. Because he was clients gave him I guess it's actually technically illegal, but he got these like gratitude stuff from clients for whatever he did. And we actually didn't see a show, I don't think. I think we just like went, ate, and
well, you go have a drink and listen to Big Elvis for 30 minutes or something like that. But he's so good. And there's even the possibility that he is related, actually, to Elvis. But he's called Big Elvis because he's big. I mean, he's 600 pounds down from 900 pounds. So.
Wow.
I know. But we've been there so many times that the last time we were in Vegas, the waitress recognized us. And I was able to show her a photograph that we had taken the last time we were at the Big Elvis show.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm just trying to, does Big Elvis, does he dress the part?
Well, kind of.
Like, does he get into like the big collars and
no. I mean, I would imagine it's difficult for him to find clothes that fit. Anyway.
I mean, that would be tailored, start to finish.
I mean, it's hard for much less do anything else.
What? Yeah, that was
his voice. But his voice is just, oh my God, it's just the best. It's just the best. Anyway,
I was going to say,
we go in, have a beer or two, listen to Elvis. That's as much as we do for entertainment. Yeah.
How would he shake his hips at 600 pounds?
Exactly. Exactly. I have a video. I should send you the video I took. And always for each show, they invite somebody up to put on a wig and sunglasses and, and sing Viva Las Vegas and put that.
Really? Is that what you have the video of?
It's funny.
Oh, that would be good. That
Somewhere,
would be good.
somewhere, and you know, it's hard to see. It'd be there.
All from Midget Might Football.
So you're frozen. My connection is, it says I'm reconnecting. Yeah. So, off. Is Sport Cat there yet? Yeah. So my computer is telling me it's my time to be quiet.
There you go. I think. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
Paul Stahl from The Optimist, Midget Might Football, dressed like Elvis Presley.
Exactly. I'll send you.
That would make a great hot dog night photo. You remember hot dog night of the season?
Yes, I. Oh yeah.
When they went to the Boyertown Elementary School cafeteria.
Exactly.
Yeah. That would be a great hot dog night photo.
Anyway, this coming week is probably pretty quiet again. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Yeah. I'm having a podcast interview conversation with a couple of women who are trying to start a neurodivergent support group for autistic adults and their families. So that should be interesting. That's on my plate for tomorrow.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Are you going to do that virtually, or will they come to the studio?
I'm going to their home and I will record there.
Okay.
I don't know if do you hear Ginger in the background? The exterminator is here, and she's announcing the fact that I have to get off the air. So,
well, Sportcast should be jumping on anytime soon anyway. So, if you got to get going, go ahead and take care of that. And I will see you next week.
Okay. Take care. Okay. Have a good week. Bye now. Bye, Ken.
Right, see you again. All right. So that is this episode of Both Sides Now and Up the Middle. I didn't get to most of the stories today, so I guess tomorrow's episode is pretty much set for me. Christian nationalism. Wait till you see this guy. You know, there's the First Amendment and your right to practice your religion. But wow. Oh, now I'm yawning. In addition to burping up coffee, now I'm yawning. Let me check. I don't see any. Oh, yeah, there's a maybe. Oh, my buddy Ivan. I send a message to Sportcut quick. But we are wrapping up. Let's see, we got about 3 minutes. He's usually on by now. I'm just checking some other things too. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, I hate that part. When you're about to sneeze and you know it's coming. So we'll get to these stories tomorrow. Tim Scott, I don't get that dude at all. Him and Lindsey Graham are the lying pieces of shit that we were going to talk about today. And then the story on the Christian nationalism, it is just misogyny at its finest. And then, I got to talk about this at least a little bit. Let me pull my screen back up, and this will be what Sportcat sees as he joins us. That's that. There we go. I'm not going to watch Ben Mysalis for 15 minutes, but apparently, So, to be fair, this story says Trump facing mass protests once again, which spontaneously erupted at the same time. Trump has been exposed for the biggest diplomatic blunder in the history of the United States in connection with the Alaska meeting. Everything is the biggest. Everything is a fatal blow. Everything is this. Just here's what happened, people. That's it. Leave it at that. But that being said, there were demonstrations this past weekend, like I talked about in the intro for today's episode.
Massive protests against Donald Trump and his regime erupting in Los Angeles. It's not being covered at all by corporate news.
So, yeah, he's right about that. It wasn't covered at all. But there's a little bit. We'll talk about more tomorrow. Edit out him droning on. Do you recognize the microphone? Same thing we got here. And that's the one that also came in the mail today. Hey, man, what's happening?
Mic check.
Yep, I got you. Can you still hear us? Sport Cat, you there? I think you're open. He's having issues with his mic. He just went silent too. So we're hearing like an open mic, and we're hearing like the fans in the background or something. But I'll message him that. Let me know if he's ready wants to take it. We can do the handoff. He can't hear me. Huh. Hey.
Now I hear you. Hello.
There you go. Hey, there it is. Yeah. So,
but all right, we're here. We're live. We're awake.
Yeah, everybody seems to be echoing on me today.
I
don't know why that is. I think I got
this off. Did that kill it? Audio check. 1, 2. Did that kill it? Can you tell?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's better.
All right. Yeah, I have to turn off B3 because it does that sometimes. So, let's see. Let's take the radio from you if you don't care. Okay. Hit a button whenever you're ready.
Good.
All right, here we go. And we had some technical gremlins this morning, but it appears we're on the air in Australia. Hello, good morning, Australia, and hello to the Yergz radio listeners. We got you. We're here. Daddy has control. So I don't know what that was. That was weird.
Yeah, don't forget that new thing you play for them. Do you have that?
Oh, yeah. Let me pull that up real quick. Yes, I do have that.
You see my new
You're
toy?
listening to a Dare Media Group and Mastiff Media radio station. From Dare Media Group, Radio X Gold, Radio X Country, 6RXM, Radio X Magic, and Dare Talk Radio. And from Mastiff Media, Yergz Radio, Rainbow Radio, Right Talk Radio, Forward Radio, Mastiff Sports, and Shady News Radio. For more information, visit daremediagroup.com.au or mastiff.medias.
Yeah, by the time that thing's done, we'll have to air it again. So
yeah, that's what I was saying in the meeting on Saturday. Like, what happened when you grow? And Jay, for example, says, you know what, I want to put you on all of my stations too, and you just doubled.
Yeah, I think we ought to just put something in Morse code and be able to play it in the background. But I don't know if that's legal there. So
tone tips. tone tips.
Well, tone tips isn't Morse code though, so it's similar, but
it's kind of
it's similar, but it's not it. So not for FCC or whatever their FCC is in Australia, legal purposes.
I don't know if Superfan Ken was downloaded the tone tip apps for me, and I don't think he was getting some of the tones that we were putting out today.
Gotcha.
XNB troubleshooting. I think we're good.
All right, man. Well, I got to cut because my chat's already live. So
yeah, get going.
All right, brother. I'm sorry we had technical gremlins and couldn't get to spend more quality time together. So
yeah,
I miss our bonding time. We'll hug later.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, brother. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Sportcat's up next. He's already on the Mastiff Media Network. And if you want to, I've been going derelict of duty on the plugs at the end of the show. So we'll start with Sportcat. You can search para or normal guys with a Z. That's 4 words on YouTube, and you can watch him there. Or also search Sportcat shows on YouTube, and you can watch him on any of those channels. He's up next with the Sportcat's Daily Gazette, and don't forget we're now on WhatsApp. It's not going to do you any good right now, but jot that number down. You can call us that way as well. Just making sure there's actually nobody that's called that I missed. That's kind of important. For more information and for the live video, we're directing you to go to mastiff.media, www.mastiff.media, and get show notes and other information. Join the Matrix. If you have a radio station or even podcast, I think we're starting to take information on that as well. Go to mastiff.media/rabbit hole. Go down the rabbit hole and sign up to join the Matrix. Studio BBB is where Jane Stahl is. StudioBBB.org is the website for the Studio B Art Gallery in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. She's also co-editor of the Boyertown Area Expression. You can check that out by going to boyertownareaexpression.town.news. Matt Deemer is the host of Daily Crypto News. You can check that out by going to dailycryptonews.net. And you can write us all by going to info@mastiff.media. That's it. We'll see you again tomorrow. We'll get caught up on those stories and that and more. Let's see. I didn't get a lot of them to come through for tone tips. Yet we're contemplating also incorporating, or maybe instead of tone tips, incorporating push notifications and doing a little bit better with that. So we'll see. This is beta. We're testing it out. We're seeing how it goes, and we appreciate everybody's help that's doing that. That's it for today. Thanks for getting off the porch and running with the big dogs. I will see you again tomorrow.